Homo Eratus. Planet Era has a population of beings much like humans. They look a bit different, but not much. Small by human standards and thin, both hairless and hairy parts of the body have a pattern of stripes and circles of brown, red, yellow and cream. An important difference with humans is that over 96% of the population is homosexual. This is the case for both males and females. Towns are divided in a male side, usually on the west side of the town, and a female side in the east. Couples who want to procreate advertise on a dedicated medium for this purpose. They will describe themselves and what they seek in the others. These ads are placed by both male and female couples and are quite formal. Then negotiations begin under professional supervision. People doing the supervision are called procreation caretakers, yet their work is more similar to lawyers. They help with negotiating all the details. Who will actually take part in procreation? Who will be present? What positions participants will be in? And what actions can or can't be performed? And of course, what couple will get the baby? The procreation caretakers are quite expensive, again not unlike lawyers, and often people use a standard configuration with some small adjustments. The standard configuration looks like this. Warning, details of procreation contract may be inappropriate for young readers. Usually, from the male couple, the man with the most male character will act as the biological father. If both men want to take part, or more usual, neither want it, then a sort of dice is thrown. In the same way, usually the woman with the most female or motherly colored character will be chosen. Both partners will be present and can touch only their own partner. The act will take place in a room specially designed for this purpose that both couples will pay in equal measure. It has two screens to show explicit sexual recordings, one for the men and one for the women. The standard position is as follows. The participating woman is on hands and knees on an ottoman. Her partner is in front of her, sitting on a stool so as to be on eye level. The male participant is standing behind the woman with his partner standing next to him. Clothing is limited to socks and sandals. This too is in the contract, and so is jewelry, perfume, and hairstyle. The room is chosen and paid for in advance. Date and time of arrival and how long the room can be used, usually 4 hours, are in the contract. If it is a boy, then usually the male couple will raise it, and if it is a girl, the female couple will. If the child goes to the man, for 2 months the mother will send milk to feed the child. Apart from this, contact with the couples not raising the child is discouraged and limited to written messages only. Heterosexual individuals have a hard time and are looked down upon, although discrimination is not allowed. The hardest part is to find a mate who is also heterosexual. This results in couples ill-fitting together, and reproduction among heteros is actually lower than amongst the standard population. This was the environment that a young girl named Elan grows up in. She lives with her two mothers in the east side of a small city. She recently turned 12 and her mothers found it appropriate to tell her who her biological mother really was. She had known this from the resemblance with her mother, but she was glad that they told her, to be taken seriously. Then a question popped up. Who was her father? An improper question. Leave them alone, they have done enough. She asked for details of the event, but none were given. At school, she had learned the standard way things went, of course, but she wanted to know her own history. As a girl, she would not often visit the western side of town. There was no formal rule that she couldn't go there, but her friends, all girls, all living with two mothers, all live on the east side. She wants to go there, just curious, and with a faint hope to just bump into her father. But she wouldn't recognize him, and he wouldn't recognize her, if she even met him. She's curious about men. One of her teachers is an old man, nearly ready to enjoy his pension. She had looked at his trousers if she could see a difference, but she couldn't. But he didn't have breasts, and sometimes, when he hadn't shaved, she could see a grey stubble on his face. There was one thing, though, that might help her. She was almost completely cream-colored, just like her mother Yell, with yellow hair and a few brown patches on her legs. Even her eyes were yellow, which was not only rare, but a recessive trait. Another useful thing she had learned at school. Yellow hair was not the same as blonde hair in humans. It was a really strong yellow, like a canary. She could go to the west side, to a busy place, and look for men with the right hair color. In her mind, it would work. Now the logistics. So her mothers needed to think she was at school. Her school needed to think she was at home. Furthermore, she needed transport, money, and it would be nice to have company, but she didn't trust anybody enough. So she would tell her mothers that the school had a field day for which she needed money. The school did have a field day that day, just not for her class. She would tell nothing at school. If a pupil was absent for 3 days or less, the school didn't care. So it is the day she planned to go. Would she dare? Yes, she would. She just bought the cheapest ticket and is now on the moving sidewalk towards the Western Shopping Center in the male part of town. She sees lots of men, some women too. Children look at her. Why is she here by herself? They seem to think. Up to this point, things had gone as planned, but finding men with cream skin and yellow hair was not easy. The men all wear clothes, long sleeves, hats, boots. Of course they wear clothes, but it would have been easier if they hadn't. She imagined everybody naked and laughed. An older woman is looking at her now, and she doesn't seem to like what she sees. She moves in a straight line towards Elon, and her raised hand summons two armed guards. Elon is on the second floor and considers jumping, but she's too afraid. Elon and the woman sit in a tiny room opposite each other. A man comes in, brown fur all over him, with a few red dots. He brings sugar water, the standard drink on Era, a mixture of water, glucose, and herbs. They say nothing. They drink. The man collects the glasses, and still none of them speaks. Then Elon can't take it anymore. In one burst, the whole story comes out. With eyes wide with fear, she looks at the woman across her. My name is Janelle, the woman says. You committed no crime, but coming here on your own without telling your mothers was not wise. But I can understand your wish. Let me talk with your mothers. Elon hesitates, but there is no way back, now that she told her story. She tells the names of her mothers and how to contact them. Janelle leaves the room and Elon is left behind. She knows for sure that the door is locked, but tries anyway. But indeed, it is locked. She begins to cry. She thought being locked up with Janelle was bad, but this is worse. After what felt like hours, Janelle returns. Next Sim Day, I will pick you up at your house and we will look for your father. Sim Day is similar to Saturday on Earth, in that most people don't work, although in Era this day is named after a small moon, Sim. Her mother, not Yell, but her other mother, Bingle, picked her up. Elon expected her to be angry, to yell at her, but nothing was said. The next day, when Elon wanted to talk about it, her mother answered that next sim day everything would be clear, so please be patient. Sim day came. Her mother's waked her earlier than on a normal sim day. Soon, Janelle was at the door. She didn't come in, no time to waste, let's go. She was brought to the same building she had been brought before. But this time they went to a nice office. Very little people were there on a sim day. Janelle got them some sugar water and she began to talk. Had Elon noticed she was quite tall? Had she noticed that her yellow hair was a little different in color from other people's yellow hair? Yes, Elon had noticed. So what? If it wasn't for the vitamins you get, you would be a lot taller still, and your hair would have the color of old paper. But I feel good, Elon protested. Another question. Do you know how many girls your age do something like this? Elon didn't know. Not one. You are the first. Elon feared again that she was in trouble, but again, no sign of anger or even disapproval. I know who your father is. Before we are going to meet him, I must tell you a story. Elon was so confused now that she accepted a delay that would otherwise have angered her to no measure. It was 15 years ago that a metal box, the size of a small house with wings, flew over our land. Elon thought the middle-aged woman she was with, Janelle, had gone crazy. Two men came out of the box. They were very tall, with cream-colored skin and hair. The last thing was very strange. Nobody she knew had cream-colored hair. Skin, yes, although not often, but hair, never. They came from another planet. Elon was now looking at the door. Could she reach safety in time? But Janelle made no attempt to do anything. Then she gave Elon a book with pictures of the metal box and the two men. There were portraits too. Elon looked at the first man and then at the second. You see that woman next to them? It hadn't caught her eyes. The small one on the left? That woman is not particularly small. That is me. Elon's eyes were not focused on anything anymore. A thought had come to her. That second man looks like me, doesn't he? Or more accurately, you look like him, your biological father. Elon began to cry, more out of exhaustion than anything else. Janelle comforted her. Around the corner is water. You can wash your face there. When she came back, she had questions, and a lot of them. 3 years before Elon was born, the flying box had arrived on Era. Two men had come out of that box. They looked different from most people. Well, Elon had seen their pictures. At first, we couldn't understand them, but in a year's time, they had learned to speak our language. We put them in a house in the West, thinking they were a couple. It turns out what we called a metal box was what they called a spaceship. It was like a ship, but not in water, but in space. They had experienced technical problems and had landed here as this was their only chance to survive. And this was the most astounding. They came from another planet called Earth. People are taller there than we are and have less colors, although other colors do exist. Also, a majority of them are heterosexual. Can you believe it? And those men that landed on our planet were heterosexual too. And we put them in one house. But they didn't mind. They had been together in the same box for 5 years. And from there, things went a little wrong. The language, I think. They were asking to see women, and your mothers were willing to receive them. Elon recognized this. Her mothers were always looking out for new and different things. After the meeting, they wanted to visit your mothers again. They were very disappointed at first when that wasn't possible, but later recovered when they learned more of our ways. And they're very nice men, just a bit different. They do see heterosexual women sometimes, though, Janelle whispered. Elon wanted to meet them. Janelle looked at the screen Elon couldn't see. Then she nodded. Ready if you are. Yes, I'm ready. I was ready 3 years ago. Yes, answered Janelle. You are more daring than the girls of your age, more quick to anger too, especially when confronted with perceived injustice. Less patient. I know you're ready. They went to see a very normal looking neighborhood and a very normal house, just a house as there were many. Janelle rang the bell. A man opened the door. It was the other guy, not her father. He's inside, nervous as what? Oh, never mind. Elon ran past the man, and then she saw him, her father. They hugged. The man told her about his world, Earth. It was wonderful. Elon could see the man longed to go back, but that wasn't possible. Science and technology were not yet developed enough. She wondered whether her mothers could accept more parents in the mix. Janelle guessed her thought. Yes, she had talked it over, and they agreed that two parents were not enough to keep Elon in check. Elon smiled and cried at the same time, but she was happy.